Hi, and welcome to another one of our video shorts on how to save seeds. This one is a short on how to save tomato seeds. So here we go, saving tomato seeds. So there's a wide variety of open pollinated and heirloom tomatoes that are available. There's two main types. You've got determinate and indeterminate. Determinate or bush tomatoes are just, as they say, bush tomatoes. They tend to ripen over a very short period and they're usually grown outdoors. The indeterminate tomatoes are the ones that are grown up a stake and they have their side shoots removed. And this gives you a crop of tomatoes over a long period in the summer. And most people grow these in greenhouses or polytunnels. There's two particular indeterminate varieties that I like: Gardener's Ecstasy, a little cherry tomato, and Orange Banana, which is a plum tomato. The Gardener's Ecstasy is a beautiful balance of sweetness and acidity, which particularly suits me. And the Orange Banana is a fantastic cooking tomato, but also is a really nice tomato to eat raw. So most tomatoes don't cross-pollinate. The stigma, which is the piece which receives the pollen, is within the flower. And so all you need to do is tap the supports during the middle of the day, and that ensures pollination. This is not true of potato leaf tomatoes and currant tomatoes and the early flowers of beefsteak tomatoes. We'll just look at those in a minute. The isolation distance for tomatoes is 2 meters. So you need to grow them 2 meters apart or grow a tall crop between them to ensure that they breed true. And it's a good idea to save seeds from at least 6 plants if possible to maintain genetic diversity. I always grow at least 10 plants and save the seed from the best 6. And that way you're selecting the seed from the very best plants and you're allowing the quality of your plants to improve every year. This is a flower from a beefsteak tomato. It's a first flower. And you can see the stigma and the anthers, they're protruding from the flower, and this allows cross-pollination. So if you have 2 different types of beefsteak tomato, they will cross-pollinate, and they will also cross-pollinate with potato leaf tomatoes and currant tomatoes. So you really need to be careful about isolating those. Once you've got your tomatoes, pick them from the very best plants and pick them when they're really, really ripe. And then wait at least another week before preparing the seeds to allow them to fully mature. You want them almost to be overripe when you're preparing your seeds. So you simply cut the tomatoes open and scoop out the seed. Put the seed into a jar. And the nice thing about saving tomato seeds is, of course, you can eat the tomatoes. So these can go in a salad or in your cooking. Make sure you label your jar. This is always an important thing to do. Keep labeling everything to ensure that you know exactly what you're doing, especially if you've got 2 different sorts of tomatoes, because you can't tell one from another when you've got them in the seed state. So just pop the top on the jar and set it aside for at least 4 days to allow fermentation of the jelly. What you want to do here is to allow this fermentation process to clean the seed, to actually eat up the jelly and just leave the seed behind. And after 4 or 5 days, the seeds will start to go mouldy and be a bit smelly. But as long as you've got them in a jar and a lid on, it's not a problem. So then we need to look at the cleaning process. Add some water to the jar and stir it vigorously. And you can see that the viable seed is sinking to the bottom here. And so now you can just pour most of the water off the top and then repeat the process. And you just keep on repeating it until the water comes out clear. And then tip the seeds into a sieve and then spread the seeds onto a glazed plate to dry. Don't put them on paper, they'll just stick to the paper. Put them onto a glazed plate, and then you can remove them easily from the smooth surface when they're dry. And so this is the first part of the drying process. The second part of the drying process is to take those seeds, and I've got them here in a little royal bag, and I've put the bag into a jar with some silica gel in the bottom. And they sit in the silica gel for 2 weeks. And this is like putting the seeds into hibernation. If you just dry the seeds, they go to sleep. If you dry them with silica gel, they go into hibernation. And that ensures their viability for many years. This is particularly useful if you're saving seeds for a seed library, and it's how the Incredible Seed Library dries and stores its seeds. If you're just saving seeds for yourself, you can spread them out 2 centimetres apart on a piece of kitchen roll. And then when you want to sow them, you can fill a seed tray with seed compost and just lay the piece of paper on top and cover the surface with some more seed compost. This means that your seeds are perfectly spaced when they start to grow, but you still need to ensure that you're saving from at least 6 plants. Don't just do it from 1 tomato. Do it from a few seeds from a lot of different tomato plants. So finally, if you've saved some open pollinated seed and would like to share them for free with others, then please contact the Incredible Seed Library for more information. So the email address is incredibleseedlibrary@gmail.com, and we also have a Facebook page where you can find our current seed list and the information on how to order. I'm afraid we can only send seeds inside the UK. So thank you very much for listening. That was absolutely great. And I'm sure that we'll see you again for another seed short soon.